Welcome. Well, you are at home with Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family, and we are delighted that you have welcomed us into your home. We certainly would love to hear from you, so send us an email with a question or a comment to jimandjoy@ewtn.com. Now, today, we're going to have a very lovely show. We have Father Leo Patalinghug. Now, you know him, you have seen him. He is a Catholic priest. If you watched the network on Monday, he preached on Monday. He gave you a great sermon.
Pro-life sermon.
A great pro-life sermon. And the music was also outstanding, which was led by Deborah Garcia and Derek Clues. Outstanding music on Monday also. Well, Father is a Catholic priest, speaker, author, and the chef host of Savoring Our Faith, right here on EWTN. So he's going to give us an update. He's been a very busy man.
He travels the
world. And then he is just going to tell you the beauty of what God is doing and ever expanding, how God is using him throughout the world. Yeah. So it will be glorious.
Well, the connection between food and faith is really obvious in the Eucharist. Father does this full time of connecting the both of them, and just the importance of the meal, of being together, of great food, but also making the time to be together as a family more frequently, to sit down, to share a meal together. And I guess in a sense, to extend the Eucharist. That's the way we see it in our family, growing up in an Italian household. Joy, you're just an amazing cook. And our family always says when we eat your meals, we taste the love in the meal.
Yes.
We taste the love in the meal. And when you can do that, not just the taste, but your love, the agape love of God in the meal, your love for your family, it is, in a sense, to me, an extension of the Eucharist, that we're meeting in this way. We're really listening to one another. We're gathering around. We're having great food. It's bringing us together, especially our grandchildren. And, you know, we do that quite often with our grandkids and have them over with their parents. And boy, they just love being around the table with you.
Well, it's good, and you know, because we're also fast food, and we're also fast service, and we're all, or we got phones in our faces, and it's really, we have to teach a culture to slow down, to be together, and to focus on the relationship of one another, and let that happen over a meal that was prepared for them in great love, and setting a beautiful table. And Father's going to talk to us all about the beauty of all that in Plating Grace, the beautiful ministry. And so we want you to stay tuned. We're all going to learn something. Father's so great. He won't be cooking for us today, but he'll be giving us treasures from his cooking experiences.
EWTN favorite, Father Leo Patalinghug. He's right on deck. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Well, you're at home with Jim and Joy, and today our guest is Father Leo Patalinghug. He is a Catholic priest, a speaker, author, a chef, host of Savoring the Faith on EWTN, and he's also the founder of PlatingGrace.com, a beautiful, familiar face to our family at home. Well, Father, welcome back. We've had you on a long time ago, and then we were on your show a long time ago.
We don't want to talk about that.
No, it was way too long ago.
That was when we were on that show years back, and I shared with you about this before the show, and that at the conclusion of the show, you made whatever you made, and you asked me, Jim, how was it? How was the meal? Was it okay? I said, yeah, it was good, and you know, I tasted this and that, and when I was walking away, I noticed something going on behind me, and you went back to my plate and kind of ate a little bit out of it. And I said, you're eating like out of my plate, Father? He goes, well, I wanted to taste this. I want to make sure that this is right. And it's not quite right. It's not the way I really wanted it to be. You know, you said it was good, but I'm not too happy. That's what I always tell people. He's really serious about what he's cooking. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Most people will just lie to you and say it's great. They walk out of church and they say, nice homily. And I'm like, the deacon preached. You know? So I think we have to be willing to hear the critique, to be honest, and to actually self-reflect. So as a chef, I take this seriously.
You do.
But also as a priest, I kind of reflect, what am I serving people? And is it actually digestible? Is it actually nourishing to people? So yeah, I do take those things seriously.
Well, I just want you to know, I'm a fan of you, and I did hear what you said on Monday, and I quoted you, and it did. I mean, I thank you for preaching with great passion and with
What were
great
some
content.
of his little headings, comparisons? about the way-
Meology, psychology,
Psychology.
and theology. And you
Sure.
said we as Catholics, we need to know our theology so that we don't get tossed to and fro with everything else that's coming
There's
down.
A lot of meology.
A lot of meology.
Well, I think that's what the devil does, because the scriptures were about how the devil, that Jesus was possessed by the evil one, and Jesus had to throw some logic and say, you know, a house divided can't stand, and if the devil is attacking itself, the devil will lose. And so confusion is one thing the devil loves to do. And theology clarifies things so beautifully. And I just think that a lot of times the Catholics and the average Catholic in the pew, they just don't know theology. And unfortunately, priests don't always preach about it. And the world doesn't provide opportunities to actually learn any theology. So without theology, we are literally without logic.
Right.
So theology, can we say it's the study of God and all things in relationship to God? And you big time are doing food in relationship to God and to our faith. So that's part of the theology, and it's a movement that you've spearheaded, this whole thing of the food of this world, the food of heaven, nourishing the body but nourishing the mind and the soul. How many years have you been at this now? Are you encouraged, discouraged? How do you see things?
I mean, I think I've been doing this ever since I was a priest, and I've been a priest now, ordained in 1999, so that's a good long while. And this idea of a theology of food, people, they kind of scoff at it a little bit because they think, oh, it's just like theology of the body. And I said, no, my idea came first, because you think about it, before God made the body, God made food. And in the body, God created hunger. And so the idea of a theology of food shows how from the very start, God has taken food seriously. I mean, to the point where he created in the body a desire to eat everything and anything, just stay away from one thing, the forbidden fruit. And what's going to save us is the blessed fruit that hangs from the tree of life. And you even hear how even in the book of Revelations, how God's going to knock on the door, and if you let him in, he will enter, Revelations 3, and he will have supper with you. These are amazing images, and everything in between has to do with food, and we have to take it seriously.
Right. Well, tell our family about Plating Grace.
Yeah, so Plating Grace is the organization, and it looks like connecting food to faith and family. And I say my other favorite F word, which is fun, you know, because if we don't allow the celebrations of the Catholic Church to be a real part of our life, then you're only celebrating the cross, and you're not celebrating the resurrection that comes afterwards, or even all of Jesus's beautiful ministry beforehand. So it's really a celebration of the faith around the dinner table, the Lord's, and your own.
Well, you were sharing, we were in the break, and you had shared about during COVID, the number one thing that people were Googling and wanting to learn how to do. Tell our family about that.
Yeah.
What a hunger there was.
Yeah, it took a pandemic for people to actually take the things that I'm doing seriously, which is eating together, because the statistics show that a family that actually eats together, they have in their teenagers a lower percentage of drug, alcohol abuse, teen pregnancy, teen suicide, and improved teenage testing scores, all from a family meal. And so during COVID, it took literally a pandemic to get families to actually eat together. And the highest thing that was searched online was how to bake bread. It was amazing, and you think about the connections to the Eucharist, and the fact that so many churches just completely shut down, and people were without communion for so many months and even years. And what were they hungering for? Bread. And that's why Jesus became it.
Right. And there really was a reality of a heart cry for the bread of heaven. You know, I mean, they were looking for manna. They were looking for a supply.
Looking for help.
Really looking for help in the midst of a storm or being in a desert in the way that the Lord supplied and provided. And so I think that's a rather remarkable thing. And I hope that now that we're coming out of this pandemic and moving forward, that people took the greater good that they learned from that and didn't just throw it to the wayside, that they're saying, hey, maybe we need to look back at this and say, are we spending time together as a family? Because, you know, we got practice here and who's going there, and we had 4 kids, we know the journey. But you have to be intentional. Everything doesn't just happen because, I mean, the whole preparation and the intentionality of it all.
Yeah, family meals have just gone by the wayside, unfortunately, and the statistics show that the people who are in prison, they have one thing in common: their families don't eat together. And so I think it's a great technique of the devil to destroy the communion of the faith and of the family. When you take away the time for people to be together and be present together and just do what is most human, and that's eating. If you take those human elements away, then we become victims of what we call the fast food mentality, that everything has to be quick and everything is a microwavable minute. We have no patience for the finer things in life. And that's why, again, the Catholic Church has to lead. We as a Catholic Church have to do a better job of making sure that we celebrate the feast days together, that Catholic parishes don't act so busy that they're literally pulling families away from each other, and that the Catholic Church has to, again, just strengthen their ties and have opportunities just to come together as a parish. Parish festivals, for example. I mean, Italian parishes are famous for it. We got a spaghetti meatball night. Well, we need to do more of that as a parish, to see the priest as a father figure, not just only in a sacramental way, but in a real way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a revert to the faith, so I departed as much as you can do that from the Catholic Church at some point in my life, mainly because I didn't know really what it was about.
Sure.
And became a kind of evangelical, Anglo-Catholic, charismatic, Episcopal priest. But you know, every fourth Wednesday well, Protestants meet on Wednesdays.
They do.
And usually they eat.
Yeah.
Protestants continually like eating.
And it usually involves chicken.
May not know exactly. It's chicken worship down south. But yeah, we would always have at least once a month, you know, a dinner together as a people. I wish I had the theology to go along with it, and that's part of what I hear you saying.
That's right.
We just need to eat together more fully and extend this theology of food, and I'm saying extend the Eucharist. I hope that's not heretical or something.
No, not at all.
I'm saying, like, we should have this, you know, agape feast, a love feast that's here, with fun, with everything else, but we sense that love, the camaraderie, the relationship, and that this is like a sacred time that we're together here.
Well, that's the feast days. And the church has to remind all its parishioners that there are more feast days than fast days. But we don't do that anymore. I mean, we don't celebrate the feast days the way old-time Catholics used to. I mean, it was a big deal. Their whole world was, first of all, agrarian, and it was centered around, when can we celebrate and make these cookies? When can we make this particular dessert? When can we make this meal to represent the faith? And so, you know, everything that I've done with, whether it be the books or the shows or even my talks, people are just fascinated by this theology of food. And if you think about it, there is no other animal in the animal kingdom that actually cooks. Why? Why are humans able to take something and turn it into something else? Well, it's because we have a rational soul. We're like God in that we can make something out of nothing. And if you don't put that effort into actually creating something that you can give to your family, then what are you doing with your time? We've just become very disconnected because we're not connected to our meals, our food.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
And how being your great exposure to so many, especially here on EWTN and Plating Grace and all that you're doing, how are people, is the church hearing you? Are they responding? Are they saying, we're going to change our ways and do this different?
You know, I don't know what the church on a hierarchical level is doing. I can only say that from the ground roots level, families are being more connected, being more intentional. You know, I wrote a book called Saving the Family, and this book was helpful because it showed how do you eat together during the different iterations and the experiences that a family will go through in a generation. It was easy to feed your kid when they were eating mashed peas, but what about when they turn into teenagers?
Right.
And what about when they have to feed you mashed peas because you're too old to cook for yourselves?
Right.
How do you stay together and stay around the dinner table? That's what that whole book was about, is to be very intentional with the fact that if you don't practice eating together around the dinner table, then what's the guarantee you will have the wedding feast of the Lamb at heaven?
Right.
We got to start practicing heaven
Right.
on earth, and that happens around the meal.
And the beauty, and we've seen that with our children, and just something else of passing on the faith is that now they moved away from us. They married. They have their own houses, their own families, their own pots and pans.
That's right.
Their own taste, delicacies, things that they like and they don't like. But now they have to set up house, right? But we have to learn it somewhere.
You're right.
Where are they going to? They're not going to learn it at school. I mean, they're going to learn it in the church and in their family, in the domestic church, where they're saying, this is how we do this, and this is how we love, and this is how we serve, and then let alone hopefully inviting someone else into your family, be they other church people who are lonely and who need to plug in to say, I need to be a part of this community too.
I say Plating Grace is the name of the organization, but it's really an invitation. If you are plating, which is chef language for presentation, if you're presenting and plating grace, well, the dinner table literally becomes a desk where the greatest lessons in life are learned. I mean, where else are your kids going to learn how to be that functional adult? In school these days, it's pure indoctrination. You know, depending on what school district you're going to, it's not a place where they're learning the manners, how to be a human. It is at the dinner table where traditions communicate that maturity that is needed for that young person to not only know the love of being served, but also learning how to serve. And so you'll know that your kids are actually growing up, and you'll know you're doing a good job when your kids start making you food, when they start taking you to dinner, when they start devoting their time and energies to serving other people who can't pay them back. That's when you know you've done a good job in raising your kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is true. And, you know, we did a tea party for our granddaughters, just for
You did,
fun.
I
I
didn't.
did. It was
Exactly.
fun.
She did it while I was away.
Because we want to have fun, and Jim Mike cramped our
She had all
style.
the girls. Yeah.
Exactly.
And we
You'll
all
have
dressed up.
beer bar party with the grandkids.
And we had teapots, and we had tea food,
Sure.
and it was, and we
And they spent
all-
the weekend.
And they spent the
Yeah,
weekend,
all the
and
granddaughters.
we all did it like we pretended we were
was
English.
great.
It was just too much fun.
Yeah. It was.
And I had my 21-year-old granddaughter there, all the way down to my 3-year-old, and everybody was a part of it.
They loved it.
They loved it.
They
And it was
dressed the
just
part.
so, it was beyond simple.
Yeah.
It was so simple. And what an impact it made on them. Like, no, we're going to do this with our grandchildren. Just a simple, beautiful thing.
They're going to eat and drink this in memory of
Right.
you. And we have to remember that food is much more than for the body. It really, it's psychological, it's emotional. I mean, smell is the most powerful scent that we have, and you can see why Jesus became food. You know, he could have demonstrated his love in any way, but he chose the simple elements of bread and wine. And whenever I lead retreats, for example, I just finished a pilgrimage, and I take people to the vineyard, and they think, oh, what kind of pilgrimage is this? I say, no, to make wine is literally the process to become a saint. To make bread is the process to become a saint. And you go through the process of planting the seed, of making it grow, of producing fruit. The whole idea of crushing, contere, is what it is. That's where we get the word contrition. This idea of crushing the grape and crushing the wheat, and then mixing it with the air and the heat and the light that comes from God. And you think all of these things are what eventually makes bread, what makes wine. it's what makes us saint.
And which makes us holy.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break at this point and hold you over for the final segment. Father Leo Padalinghug is here with us, platinggrace.com, platinggrace.com. We'll be right back. Plenty more to come. Don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, you're at home with Jim and Joy, and we're wrapping off our conversation with Father Leo. Now, Father, people have seen you on Savoring the Faith and all your books, and your books are great. But you also, there's more to you. And one of the things that you started was your food truck ministry. Tell our family a little bit about that.
It's called Plating Grace and Grub. We serve international comfort food. We're award-winning. People love our food, but there's also a mission because I hire people coming out of the prison system or people coming from disadvantaged communities. You know, we dedicated the truck on the Feast of St. Joseph the Worker.
Perfect.
And we have had great blessings and a lot of challenges from transmission to windshields breaking, you name it. The truck has gone through some challenging times, but the mission is to serve a great meal with a positive message. During the winter months, we don't have a lot of food truck opportunities, so we actually, it's a terrible business model. I keep all my staff employed and I donate food. And so we're constantly going around and doing things like charity soup, hot soup and hot meals, and then also collecting some emergency supplies. And this is all happening during the winter months. So we're operating throughout the year, and it is hard work. It's honestly one of the more challenging things I've ever had to do as a priest.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a lot of work.
Yeah, the kitchen is hot.
The kitchen's hot, and humanity, and the devil doesn't like it.
Oh, for
and
sure.
so there's gonna be like, let's like put roadblocks in the mess of this. Now, in what city are you operating out of?
Baltimore, Maryland is my home, but we do travel through, to DC, to Virginia, even as far as New Jersey, New York. There was an idea of maybe going all the way to Florida, like the movie Chef, which was a big food truck movie. The truck couldn't handle it, and I don't think we could either. So we have what is called the food truck experience, where me and some of my staff will go across the country and cook some of our food from the food truck, and it is really fun because they get a chance to see the Catholic world or just the world at large, and then they get a chance to share their story. It's very powerful.
Father, just share a closing word of encouragement or maybe exhortation of the importance of couples and families getting together for meals, and then close us with a prayer and with a blessing.
Sure, I would just simply remind families that if you don't feed your children, the devil will. And the devil has a great way of making bad things look good. So our job is to help our children and our communities discern what is of God, because the bitter herbs of truth might not taste good, but they're good for you. And so just knowing that, let's just ask God's blessing and grace that we will always hunger for him, that we will also give what we have received to those without, and that we will always make sure that faith is that which nourishes our souls. And we ask for the prayers of all of the saints involved in the hospitality industry to bless us this day and every day of our life until we enter into those gates that lead us to the eternal banquet. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Father,
Amen.
thank you so much for being with us. We're thankful to God that
pleasure.
we'll have you again tomorrow. And so plating grace, when I heard that phrase, I'm saying, how do you plate grace? Grace is of God. It's not really of you, but I'm learning through what Father was saying, what the world is plating and what we could plate for our family, for our loved ones, for our friends, for those who feel alone. Plating grace. We should do it. We can do it. Keep it on EWTN. You're an important part of this family. You're never alone. You're always at home with Jim and Joy. Bye now.